Kaitis. My name is Quinique, Jagers, founder of Kaapsekhoi Herbal Teas. Join me on a nostalgic journey through the lost heritage of the Khoi through the Veld kitchen and refreshment station. Diana, you posed such a beautiful question. You asked me, what is the benefits of indigenous herbs and food? And though I wrestle with that question, I think generally the first consensus would be to say, well, it's of course it's health and wellness. But I actually stand to differ. What if the most important benefit of indigenous herbs and food is merely our identity? You see, we've undergone harsh realities for identifying with our Africanicity. Whether it is the disdain of our hair, the disdain of our nose, the disdain of our skin color. They're all living sometimes consciously, but also sometimes unconsciously. And so when we embrace the very things that our epigenetics embraces, there's parts of us that become healed and whole. And we're able to enjoy the glimmers of rewriting our neural pathways to a better version of ourselves, to a better version of the generations to come, to a better versions of self-determination. Diana, I'm reminded that when we speak to our parents or grandparents or people of old about our identity, quite frankly, as coloreds, there is the silence that fills the room. Silence of embarrassment, silence of dissociation, silence of we cannot go there, as though there are still repercussions to finding out what those lineages are. And in this journey of discovery, drawing closer to God, spending more time in prayer, I was really pressed to find, in this moment of audio clarity, if you will, a question that was posed to me to say, why have you given up your identity in me, your cultural identity in me? And I think that's something that we battle with. We don't want to come to terms with our cultural identity in God. It's something that we wing off and say, well, he doesn't like that about us. He doesn't like our Africanicity. He doesn't enjoy our drums. He doesn't enjoy us running around the fire. He doesn't enjoy our stamping of the feet. He doesn't enjoy our herbs. We cannot burn it. We cannot drink it. But I think, Diana, you would agree with me that at every age we come, we realize that there's new koala, new things that show up. Suddenly now you sound like your mother, and suddenly now you're talking like Oma, and suddenly now you have the qual that Opa had, and these things come up, they revisit us. And it's for this very reason that it is important for us to be honest with ourselves, to be honest with who we see, to be honest to ask ourselves the question, what is my tribal knowledge? Where do I come from? And though sometimes it's a difficult question to pose, when I spend some time in the archives, I could feel the pain in those papers when I see how we went from being named certain tribes, whether it's Kaapsekhoi or Quinique, and then going to Gemeng, and then going to colored, and then being deregistered as African. But yet I am yet to find that when I introduce someone to a cup of Kaapsekhoi blended boegoeties, that they don't smile at the glimmer of remembering Oma or cry at the pain in their heart that is released through the beauty and the nostalgia of what that herb means to their epigenetics. And so, Diana, to bring it back to the question, I truly believe the first and foremost benefit to indigenous herbs and food is that we restore our identity.